We're here. I'm sorry we're late. We're here, I promise. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I am joined, as usual, by Julian, my co-host, Bearded Thrift Machine over there. And below me, I have Sonny Las Vegas, who has been on before with us, as well as the ATL Flippers. Derek has been on with us before, but Jasmine has not.
First time.
So this is Jasmine's first time, so thank you guys both for coming on. Happy to have everybody here. I'm going to let Sonny and then Derek and Jasmine introduce themselves. Their links are in the description. They both have YouTube channels, and Richard and or Marsha will be dropping links to their channels too. So definitely check them out if you guys aren't subscribed. So here is Sonny.
Hello, ladies and gents. I'm Sonny Las Vegas. I've been a reseller since 2017. And I think as of this month, I might be into my 10th month of reselling full-time. I've been doing a lot of reselling in apparel, but since I've gone full-time, I've learned a lot from a lot of people that I follow online, but in person, mainly from Carrie, American Arbitrage, Danny, the Niche Lady, Carrie, who doesn't have a YouTube, but Carrie Snyder is an amazing person. If you're ever in Vegas, I hope you get to run into her with the Niche Lady. They are besties and have become close friends of mine as well. So I'm learning a lot about glass and all types of stuff other than apparel. And it's making a huge difference to where I'm able to get a lot less and save space, which is helping out by not having my wife waking me up to choking me in the neck. So that's pretty much what I've been working on, just trying to learn and apply as much as I can and do YouTube videos as well. And Thursdays do lives, bringing on people like Julian and Kat have been doing, just to share the love and share the information that's out there. There's so much out there. If you want to grow, you really have to apply yourself and just take the time to listen to others. And I thank you all for showing up, especially those over from my end. I see you in the live chat, and I appreciate you all very, very much.
Yay. All right, perfect. Here's Derek and Jasmine.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Again, Derek and Jasmine, and we go by the ATL Flippers, but I've been reselling since 2010, and this will be my third year?
Mm-hmm.
Third year full time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and last year my wife Jasmine, she came on with me full time.
I joined the team, so I'm actually coming up on my 1 year anniversary in August of doing full time reselling with my husband. So it's been a journey. It's been an amazing journey. Definitely just learning about brands and reselling. We are a team. I was kind of the behind the scenes supporter with reselling, but it's been amazing this past year of getting really, really knee deep in with my husband, of learning the brands and different things that sell. And of course, we have our YouTube channel, the ATL Flippers. Yes, we had to add an S. He was solo dolo for a minute. And our followers were like, y'all need to put an S on that because he is not single no more. Right. So, we've been rocking it out together almost a year now, full time together.
Yeah. So thanks, Kat and Julian, for having us. And can't wait for the night.
Perfect. Hey, where am I? I have this fear, and it's Yvonne's fault, Thrifty Rich, because a couple of times I was like doing like everything, and Yvonne threw me up on screen. So now whenever I'm not on screen, I turn off my cam because I'm so paranoid I'm gonna get like, I don't know.
Like I might just throw you up on screen one time. Boop.
Yeah, I'll throw myself up. I think everybody knows I'm like, sometimes I'm bad about clicking. I don't know what. So Duncan was late today. He is here. I saw him. He did show up, but Miss Cheryl beat him with a question. Do you guys know how to make that not cover your faces? Can anybody tell me how to fix that?
I think you have to select a different type of comment that you want.
Where? Oh, maybe settings. Hold on.
Should be on the right
Virtual
panel.
Layouts. Crop solo layout. No. Guest viewer, see viewer comments. I don't see anything, Sonny.
Does the comments, not the actual comment? I need to look at mine.
General. Shift video up for comments or banners. I have that selected. Let's turn it off and see what happens. Hold on. No, that's worse. Hold on. Let me find where I got to find where I was just at. That made it worse.
Let me go into my StreamYard.
So I guess that is the not hiding you that I have it on. Wow. Okay.
Maybe because it's just a large
Wilson. Wilson over the fence. Cheryl said, I had a buyer make multiple purchases today. The shipping was extreme. I told her I would refund a portion of the shipping as soon as I ship her items. Would you wait until the money is in your bank to refund on the shipping?
I would always wait until the money's in my account, but reason why I wait not to send a refund is before what I've had in my one or two experiences, that when I refunded a person before they received the item, one of the two ended up saying, I want to return the item. And it ended up giving me an issue of refunding a person because they already did. So I was getting a window or a message from eBay saying you can't refund them because you already refund them. So it wasn't a big problem. I just had to reach out to eBay and say, hey, this is what happened. I refunded them for shipping, and now they want a full refund. And other than that, there wasn't a big issue, but I usually wait until they actually receive it just in case something like that happens. Not that we want it to, but it's inevitable to have returns.
That's good. Yeah, so we've done like Sonny has previously, but also if they make multiple purchases, you can, before you ship it, you can just send them an invoice and just refund them the certain, amount that you want for shipping.
They have to have not paid in order for you to invoice. So normally if they contact me first, I'll tell them, hey, don't pay until I send you an invoice with the discounted shipping.
Right.
But if they pay, I think that's what she's talking about. Like if they already paid you way too much for shipping, she's saying like, should she wait till she has the money in her bank?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I actually, like, when I do everything and ship everything together, if somebody's like, hey, I bought like 6 items, I'll go ahead and combine all that, and then I'll shoot them over the refund. If they did do what Sonny said and they want a return, yeah, I could see how, because I refunded somebody the other day and they were like, it was a pain, but it all worked out. But I don't know. Like, I usually, if it's all combined together, I usually send that out after that I have printed the label, and then I'll send them the difference.
And I do the exact same. I do exactly what Julian does. As soon as I ship it and see the amount, I have a little notepad I keep on my desk, and I'll write the difference in shipping minus the fees that eBay's charging. Mm-hmm. And then I immediately send it. I've been lucky that I haven't had somebody try and return it because of like, I can see where you would run into that issue. But because otherwise I'm going to forget, I've got 100 items going out a week. I'm not going to remember to look and make sure that got delivered and then be like, oh, I'm going to give them a refund on shipping now. But be careful. Don't return them part of shipping until you ship it, or it takes it out of your to be shipped list. If you refund that difference before you ship, eBay takes it out of your to be shipped because they think you like refunded the purchase. So wait until after you ship. And that's up to you. Like Sonny has a good point. So you could wait until it's at least delivered. I wouldn't wait until the money's in your bank account because you owe them that money anyways. So technically it's going to come from your pending funds. It's not going to come like out of your bank. But you could wait until they get it, make sure they're not going to return and then do it. But I think most buyers, like in my case, if I forgot like the day of, they contact me and they're like, hey, where's my refund on shipping? And so that would be the only thing. All right, Duncan, I did not reduce you to one question. That is a lie. Okay, everybody, that's a lie. Because he made Dalton say woof. So Dalton was in the shed 2 weeks ago now. Was it a week ago? Maybe a week ago.
A week ago.
I'm losing my mind. Because Brad's mom was in the hospital. She's out and doing well. But Duncan was sending super chats to make Dalton bark like a dog, and it continued for quite a bit of the show. So Duncan wants to know, is it worth selling cheap items on eBay, or is the profit all gone from fees?
So to me, when I see things like cheap, is that's based off of what your affordability is, because cheap isn't cheap to everybody. So I don't necessarily look at things that are cheap, and some things that are affordable aren't affordable for some people. So I just look at what the profits come out to by doing my research with the comps and just basing it off of that. I don't try to look at things that are cheap or things that are expensive. I'm looking at things that I could find a good price for, and hopefully with the potential of my little brain cells that I got left, that it works out in my favor, because the last thing I want to do is just miss out on things. But we learn from our mistakes, and that's just part of it.
Yeah. And I think for us, when it comes to selling cheap items, I think it honestly depends on how much we got it for, if there's profit in there. Because there have been times where we've gotten items for free, or, you know, just different deals that we have. So we literally have nothing into it. So everything that we get is a gain or a profit. So even though we may be selling it for like $10 or something, I think it was one time, what was it? It was something, was it hats or something? We got like a whole stack of something for like nothing, and we sold it for like $10, but it was like 50 plus of the items. And so those cheap items added up really, really quickly, and it was all profit for us because they ship first class. So it was very little in shipping as well. So I think it just depends on, you know, the initial comps and what you have invested into it. And if there's quantity in it, because sometimes we can get bulk cheap items, you add that up and that's easily a few $100.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually just had this question on my YouTube, so I almost asked the identical one. It was very rudely stated, and I actually did the math real quick. I said,
or they tell you shouldn't, and you're a dum dum for doing it. I get that. I get that a lot. I get that.
So if you do $10, my I like to do a minimum of a $10 profit. So you're going to sell it a little bit higher than $10, right? $10 a day, that's $100. Times that by 30 in the month, that's $3,000. Times that by 12, you're at $36,000 on $10 items. As the ATL flippers just said, small items add up. So I will always sell those $10 profit items, as many as I can find, because they really do. They add up very quickly.
Yes. Ka-ching.
Yes.
I actually already had that written down because I actually already wrote it.
Listen, I even sell $5 items, guys. If I got them for pennies and I can list 50 in an hour, right? You're making like $4 an item. That's $200 for an hour. So like when people tell me that, I will tell them the math. Like my Harley pens, I bought 600 for $600. I'm $1 in. Some are only worth $7 or $8, but the nice thing about lots is some of them are worth $75 and $100. Wow. And so like the same thing with the license plate. Some of them are only selling for $9, but times that times 1,000. So if I figure 20% for fees, because I do promote. So on a $10 item, $1 in, $2 in fees, that's $7 times 1,000 license plates minimum. That's $7,000 profit on one buy. So I think I will always, especially lots. I might not pick this stuff up individual. I think that might be a little bit different for me, picking up like one item worth $5. I'm probably not going to, but if I buy a lot with 100 or 200 or 1,000, then it's a little bit different. Like my big lots I buy too, I buy them because there might be an expensive item, and that item pays for everything, but I'm not going to just like toss items worth 10, 15, $20 because that it all adds up. It all adds up. I wouldn't do something a pain in the butt for 10 or 15 bucks now if it's hard to ship, but if it's not, I'm gonna list it. What is Marcia doing?
Giving you super chats.
Giving Dalton.
Oh, Dalton's birthday is Saturday. He will be 4.
Wow.
He is super excited. So I do a few people that came to my camp. So a few subscribers were invited and will be coming because I made friends with people at my camps, of course. So the ones in Florida that could drive are coming, a few of them. We don't have many friends with kids. That's the hard thing. So Dalton's grown up around all adults. His sister is 20. So hopefully next year after he starts school in 3 weeks too. So hopefully after that we'll have some friends. I think only his cousins are coming right now, but we're excited. Gonna get him a cake. He's not watching this, so I bought him a little play kitchen. Me and him have been watching MasterChef Junior. So we've been like hooked up to cook. Yeah, so I got him like a little kitchen and I got him his own little fridge. So it should be fun. It should be fun for sure. So Marcia, I will add that to his little fund. I'll let him go shopping with it. I'll let him go shopping. He'll like that for sure. Here is your dolphin. Super chat. What did Mary? Now I see Mary behind her.
There's a super.
Oh, Judy, I didn't see Judy. Judy,
My
thank you
birthday
so much.
tomorrow, folks.
Mine's the day after.
Listen, Sonny.
I'm just
Listen,
joking. It's
Sonny.
in October.
Silly.
Mine's in November. I got asked that when I said it was Dalton's birthday. People are like, well, when's your birthday? I'm a Turkey Day birthday.
I
was born
am
on Thanksgiving.
too.
When's yours? What day?
I was born on Thanksgiving too. That's so funny. November 22nd.
Mine's the 27th. So mine's at like the
Wow.
opposite end of the week.
That's
Close.
cool.
Really
Yeah,
close.
and Derek is October too, Sonny. So y'all got that going on.
Team Libras.
All right. Miss Judy, thank you. Here is your
Super chat.
Yay, Mary. Okay, I'm gonna keep track so I can go take some cash out for this kid and let him go shopping.
But like, Kat, I think that says supposed to say Derek, not Dalton.
Horrible.
All right.
Can't spell either.
Mary, I'm assuming Abby is watching. It's not too late there on the West Coast. So for Mary and Abby, here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, teacher treasure chest. How often do you have packages go missing or lost on average, and how can you prevent it from happening? If it does go missing with UPS, how can you resolve it quickly?
How does it go missing with UPS? I know one of my mistakes that I do quite often, even though I know to look out for it, is that I put my UPS packages with USPS. And although they do have a partnership program to where they pick up, say at the USPS to pick up UPS and these other mail services, and there's some out there that I wouldn't know about unless I didn't work for the post office myself back in 2016. But best thing to do is, if you're not seeing something, go to that location where you went to last. Hopefully you didn't misplace it with, say, another postal service like USPS. And I'll tell you right now, I rarely scan my packages. Rarely ever. I'll go to a cage that they have at the post office and just dump them in there. And for small ones that I feel that might fall in through the cracks of the cages, then I'll put those in that little dump thing.
Like
myself.
the mailbox thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll do that, but I rarely have any packages missing. I've had two probably within a year, other than things that I've shipped. Now, there's a big number difference for things that I'm still trying to find in my garage that we'll talk about in some other live. But I do my best to just drop off things on time. And if anything, just talk to the post office. Don't try to talk to them on the phone because they take forever. So I'll go in person at the Dutch door, what is called for the people that check your little paper slips. That's actually called a Dutch door, and ask them and tell them the story. And usually they're very helpful, especially with packages that go missing. And they say you on your end could see that, say, it got dropped off at the post office, but it's not tracking anything else. The post office could actually see more information of who scanned it in on their end and where it should be at. And sometimes those little things go a long way because they're able to find that little mishap and put it in the right place.
Yeah, so we usually don't ship, with UPS. We usually use USPS or FedEx. But yeah, if we did and packages got lost, we would just go up there because it's literally like 2 minutes from our house.
Yeah.
So we would do like Sonny said and just not email them, but probably just make a trip up there.
Yeah, because I don't think we necessarily had packages missing. Like, we have had delayed shipping, and usually it's just around like the heavy times with the post office. Like, I remember one day I forgot it was April 15th, and we had like a boatload of packages, and the line at the store or the post office
USPS,
we had, it was like out the door, and I'm like, crap, you know what I mean? So I had to go and like dump it in the back, and a lot of those packages were very delayed, but we ended up getting shipped, but just kind of being conscious of those time frames where things can kind of slip through the cracks. But yeah, nothing, thankfully, that's gone just absolutely missing,
Yeah.
I think I just had one go missing that I put one of those little things on USPS, like, hey, can you find my package? Sometimes that works. And like Sonny said, one time, like the person who was supposed to be going to like Oregon, like that postmaster or somebody called me from that post office that was last scanned in and was like, hey, it was last scanned here and we don't know where it is. And I was like, That's cool. Like I mean, I appreciate the follow up, which I thought was pretty impressive. They followed
Yeah,
up with
that
that.
is
Right,
amazing.
right.
Yeah, even to
Right.
tell me they don't know where it is. I was like, well, I appreciate the call. I mean, I can see that it was missing, but I appreciate it.
Where is it?
Yeah, so it's only been
What
a couple.
about UPS though, Julian? Since you're shipping so many golf clubs,
I have to tell you this. I am super impressed with UPS. Now watch, I have like 10 go missing tomorrow. But so all my golf clubs, since that they've changed, you know, the USPS parameters, I haven't had one golf club go missing, late, or damaged. So
Nice.
I couldn't really tell you. I'm sure it will happen eventually. And I would just, my UPS store are the nicest humans in the world. They are so nice, so courteous. So I would just go up there and be like, hey, I got one missing. And I'm sure that they would, the ladies up there would help me out.
yeah, I actually have never. I knocked on wood when Julian said that. I've never had one with UPS go missing. I have had ones with USPS go missing, and with USPS, if it's missing and not found, they pay out fast. Now, if it's broke, that's a whole different ball game. But if it's missing with USPS, you open the claim. I think it's 14 days for priority as of not arrived. Then they pay out pretty fast, or that box will show up. You can't prevent it from happening because once you ship it, it's out of your hands. So unfortunately, we have no control. For a while there, all of my stuff that was going through Jacksonville, Florida, a lot of it was getting lost, but you can't control the route that your packages go. And I knew every time something went missing that was last seen in Jacksonville, every time. I've never had to file a claim with UPS, so maybe somebody in the chat that has can help you. I would probably go up to our little UPS package center too. But with USPS, you can file online for that missing one. Duncan, he's not in here. And he'll be in bed. I know 2 weeks in a row, Duncan's in a super chat, and he never had before. Dalton's in bed because he's on a new schedule because school is starting. So Dalton has to go to bed earlier now. So I will tell him in the morning, which will start my day off with barking. Duncan. I just called Duncan Dalton. He wants to know what is our biggest combined order on eBay ever. He said he sold 69 items to one buyer.
Wow.
What was it?
He does a lot of ephemera and stamps and stuff, I think. He does a lot of paper stuff.
I think mine was a Lance Armstrong yellow silicone Live Strong bracelets. I ended up finding 250. This is when I first started reselling back in 2017. I found nearly 300 of them for $20. And at the time, that's before shipping prices was going up every January. And I think I sold around nearly 50, and I sold them for $9 a piece. I think that's been my best. And that was within 2 days of listing them.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's been my best of kind of a bulk buy to that one person.
Nice.
Yeah, last year I think we shipped around 10 to 12 pairs of shoes to somebody. And it was all kid shoes. So it's either there,
That's a lot for shoes, though, right?
Right. So what I'm thinking is either they're resellers or they got a lot of kids.
They got 6 kids. They got the Brady Bunch going on.
Right.
Yeah.
I think mine was around 25 or 30, and it was individual sockets, Craftsman and stuff. I guess this guy was building an older V series entire set, and he was picking them out, the ones that he wanted, in my eBay store. And then I had to go find them all, and it was this is actually not worth it because they were all $4 a piece, and there was 30 of them. So it took me forever to find them all. Then it was just, I'm glad he bought them though. I was just buy everything I have, and I'll give you a really good deal.
You can just scoop it all up, right?
Yeah,
Right.
medium flat rate box. I'll send you everything.
Right.
Yeah, mine is probably 15, and it was actually somebody came and bought a lot. Bought 8 sterling silver rings from me when I put a bunch of sterling silver rings up, and then they bought 7 or 8 Harley pins. So it was half and half, but that's the most I've ever had. My normal combining's 2, maybe 4 items. I don't get a bunch with that many. I think because I don't do Like I would love if somebody would come by 69 license plates. I have plenty of them, or Harley pens. I still have plenty of those too.
Kat, I think you sold pencils probably a year ago now, maybe even less than that. You had a whole bunch of pencils at one time that you sold quite a bit.
Yeah, the like architect pen. I think that's been over 2 years ago. That was a long time. Yeah, I bought a bunch. That was when the paintbrushes. That's when I bought out like an artist studio, and there were a bunch of like drafting pencils and paintbrushes. But mostly, I don't get that many. All right, Duncan, you didn't say you don't want the dolphin, so here's the dolphin, and then we'll do a question, and then I saw another super chat.
Super chat.
My super chat clicker is not here. Yes, he is. Julian, what are you doing? Where did he go? Ulterior motives with Carrie said, "Happy birthday, Dalton." Okay, I'm going to add it to Dalton's list. I'm going to owe Dalton money. Kat, you're such an inspiration, and I get such joy from seeing you succeed and being a great mom to a super kid. I'm a homeschooling mom. So glad I stayed home with my son. Thank you so much. And I give you props for homeschooling. I have discussed that with several people. I don't think I have the patience to do it. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'd be like, listen, kid, like, like I give major props to people who can do it. Cause I know like to get a child to like sit and pay attention.
I can't even do that.
That's rough. Yeah, I can't do it. That is rough. So I give you homeschooling moms, I give you all of the props in the world. Yes. Yeah. So I told him, I'm like, what am I going to do while you're gone all day? Cause I'm used to like, he's here, we're doing stuff, and he's never been to daycare. So we're getting ready to have it's going to be a lifestyle change. It's going to be a big change for us. Plus having to like, I don't leave. If you guys don't, but like, I don't leave. I'm anti-social. Brad goes to post office. So for me, having to leave 5 days a week is going to, and bring him to school and pick him up. Luckily the school's only 10 minutes away. So it's not far, but it's going to be a change. So Miss Carrie, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
I lost the question. Where did it go? I know what it was. How did I lose it? I'm going to find it. It jumps sometimes, like Julian clicks and I clicks, and sometimes it'll jump when Julian clicks. I don't know. It's really weird. Where did it go? Am I going crazy?
We're all crazy.
So, Julian, take that down. I'll answer the question because I remember the question. The question was for me, and it was asking me, do I not put measurements into my listing? And that is true. I do not put measurements for clothing. And I will tell you, I will not lie. People message me and ask me for them. 9 times out of 10, I don't send them. I'm like, nope. So I don't. I do have the reseller ruler, like that cross ruler that I could lay, but a lot of times, like if you're zoomed out, they can't it's hard to see the actual like measurements because they're not, the numbers are really small. So my daughter will use the reseller ruler, but we don't type them out. If I'm doing them, I don't even use the reseller ruler. But my theory on that is that most people are buying clothes and brands that they already know, and they know what size they wear. So that's my theory with that. Like if I go buy like Columbia shirts, I know what size Columbia shirt I wear. And me, if I get one's a little too small, I'm like, whatever. I don't return them. That's just me. But if they ask me, unless it's like $100 something, I'm probably not going to do it. I'm really bad about that. I won't lie. But I do. The last picture in all of our listings for like breakables and stuff is a picture of the item with a tape measure. So like our ornaments, our glass bowls, anything like that. The last picture is one with a tape measure. And I still get people saying, can you tell me what size this is? And I'm like, can you look at the last picture in my listing? Like, that's what I do. I don't tell them the size. I'm like, please see the last photo in the listing. It has a tape measure. and they're like, oh, sorry. Like, I don't know if people just only look at the first pic. I get that like so much more often than you would think. And I'm like, there's a picture with the tape measure.
And literally, folks, Kat has a picture just of a tape measure.
Yeah, just a tape measure. No item.
Right. This is what you're getting.
Yes.
Yes. Hold on, I'm hunting.
Or the item just next to the tape measure. Just
I'm
use that in-
is that question was only for you, right, Kat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just don't. I mean, we can go around and you guys can say if you do for clothes.
Yes,
I
I
don't
will
do
say
any
so.
measurements.
Thank
Yeah,
Thank
go
you for
around.
asking. So I'm big on measurements because of things like missing packages when I started, and things that I try to do things to prevent me from having returns. And with apparel, mainly jeans, I get this now more so of what's the thigh measurement, and I'm like, who measures their thighs and how high is your thigh? It's a weird question, right? Because you don't know what their body lengths and stuff like that is. But I do the rise of jeans because there's low rise, mid rise, high rise, and then extreme high rise, where it's probably up to their Adam's apple. And with the full measurements, I do all those things with the leg openings. And I found for me personally that it's helped eliminate any returns. With jeans, particularly, the measurements don't always add up to be exactly as the tag on the item. So even if I put the measurement inside the title and in the description, I say the measurement in the tag is not correct to my measurements that I've listed it as, people will often say, hey, this is not the right size. The pants say this, your title says this. And I'll message them saying, I know that if you look at the description, little asterisks all over it. And if you try it on and if it doesn't work, I'll be happy to send a refund after I return it, the whole process. And usually they pretty sure try it on and or reply back saying, hey, thank you. They actually fit perfectly. I appreciate it. I'll be sure to look at descriptions more next time. So you're helping yourself by adding those things inside there. But Kat, look at her. She's very successful.
I don't get that many clothing returns either, Sonny. I don't get clothing returns. I might get one here and there, but no more than anything else.
Yeah. You do what works for you. And if it's working, then don't fix what isn't broken. And
yeah, I agree, because a lot of people are like really, really specific about it. And I do get asked it. So I probably would make more sales if I had it in there. But the way I look at it is I wouldn't get more sales equal to the amount of time it would take to do it. So like I'm more about like listing quantity. I hate to say quantity versus quality, but like I don't do any descriptions. I just get my items up, and then again, like I said, if it's worth it, then I will go measure it. But most of the time I don't. I'm not gonna lie, because if you message me today and ask me something about a shirt, you'll probably not hear from me. I won't.
Yeah.
So I think with us, like,
well, I feel like Derek set me up. Let me just start off by saying that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I started off with the business, the very first thing he had me do was like take photos and measurements of our clothing, because it was
you gotta know.
It was a lot of clothing that was just unlisted. So I started off doing all the measurements and on the floor and all of this other stuff, and then I realized I ain't have to do all that. After I did, like, how many measurements, Boo? Like 200, 300?
Yeah. Around there, yeah.
But then he was like, babe, you got to be trained. This is how you learn. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be like second nature, you know? Julie, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, and so, we started off doing the measurements. But I think it's just kind of, it depends on the items. Like, when it comes to our jackets and stuff like that, like, no, we don't do measurements for that. Really more so just the jeans.
And it's mostly, like, women who ask for measurements. A lot of the men, like, we know our size. And a lot of men just buy it. If it's a pair of pants, they may ask, like, what's the inseam, size, but for the most part, men, they just buy it. But women are the ones on, like, with shirts and
the specifics and stuff like that. So I know for me, it was definitely a learning curve of just making sure to do the right measurements. Because I know early on, there were some things that I measured and I didn't do the right side to side and up to down and, all those things. So we did get returns. But
that's why I had to train her. Huh?
No, you did not train me. You just left me hanging. He just put me in the fire, But I think so. It was kind of a learning curve. But once we learned it, we didn't really get returns on clothing. I think it was more so on us of just kind of not measuring well. And then it was also that component of sometimes people ask 50 million questions. We do the measurements, we send it, and then they still send
And they're
it.
still gonna return
They
it.
still return it,
Yeah.
And so going to Kat's point, it's just like we did all of that time digging into our bins, getting the item out, measuring, you know, and they got 50 million questions, and then they return it, and then I'm feeling sideways because I'm like, I could have just left.
Yeah,
that
the
thing.
ones that ask the measurements are the ones I'm kind of leery of.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
when we see those messages, like, you know, back-to-back messages, we just don't even sell it to them. We just move on because, you know, usually they're going to be really analytical
Like
when
real
they get
nitpicky.
it. It has a little, you know, thread hanging from the from the jeans.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Cut it
So,
off.
Yeah. Cut it off.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't measure anything unless it's missing a tag, and then I kind of just guess when the size would be. Like,
Yeah, I will do that actually.
Yeah,
if like denim shirts and stuff, if they're missing the size tag, I will.
But I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, and I agree with Derek there. I don't sell a lot of women's clothing, almost like none, like literally probably less than 0.0%. And I have a lot of men's clothing, and they just buy it. Like, you know, you're large, you know, you're medium.
That's a good point too, because when I source, that's what I go for is the men's. I don't pick up women's. The only women's clothes I have are like I did a personal buyout, so I like handpicked from their closet. But if I'm out sourcing, I don't look at the women's racks. I won't lie. Like I pick up like my men's Hawaiian shirts. I'll look at jeans. I don't even look at the women's jeans. So, cause I don't know the brands. I'm in my Adidas t-shirt. I'm like t-shirts and jeans. That's like that.
Adidas.
Listen, this shirt was lost for 2 years and it was in my laundry room in a basket that had like a lot of my favorite clothes. So when we cleaned the laundry room out to get our new washer and dryer last week, I'm like, that was my favorite shirt. And I haven't seen it in 2 years. Cause like somehow a whole laundry basket full of clean laundry was like under a table. And it had like so I'm happy I have my green Adidas shirt back. Cardigan Mode says, I just recently learned that you should not write the title of your listing in all caps. Does that philosophy apply to the description area too?
I don't do all caps because in a weird way, I think people could relate that I feel like I'm being yelled at. And I think I'm an adult at this age. I'm 41, I think. So I don't like all caps. It comes off weird to me. And for me to see it that way, I kind of also look at just every first word capitalized.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
With caps that I do. Other than that, I've been hearing more from people about how to write titles. And I've been doing this for years, so I didn't know there's a particular way, but maybe Kat and Julian, who have these huge numbers of people that probably understand this word, but I don't know an order that works other than what I'm using. And I usually start off with the brand, men or women, size, but it all depends because I sell quite a bit of stuff from hats to t-shirts to jeans, but I'm still learning these little things to try to help me out. But no, not all caps. I don't like all caps.
Yeah, usually in our listings, like if it's a word, like not word, but if it's like an item that's rare, we might put the word rare all caps just so it can stick out. But for the most part, you know, we don't really, you know, we don't
Not everything.
Yeah. Or in the description either.
Yeah.
I would take that as you're yelling the title. I mean, I'd be like, stop yelling at me. I'm not going to buy your stuff. You seem to be rude. So, no.
Yeah, the only time mine will be if I copy, like I do a sell similar after one that's in all caps, I leave it. I don't think it's necessarily horrible. I think that stuff still sells. I just think aesthetically, and like everybody said, it does seem like you're yelling. But if I copy a good title that's all caps, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to take the time to go uncapitalize all of it. I typically am the same as Sonny. I capitalize the first letter of each word. And just like Jasmine said, like with my license plate lately, like if I have a red license plate, that's kind of a different color. So my red will be in capital letters because I want to emphasize that. So typically I might have like one or two words capitalized to emphasize them. And I will tell you, if you list on Etsy, Etsy does not allow more than 2 words to be all caps. They will block you from listing it and say, sorry, you can't have more than 2 words in all caps. So my poor mom, when I decide I'm going to go copy that listing that's all in caps, My mom, when she cross posts to Etsy, has to go change the whole title. So I don't, if I can find a good title that's not all caps, I will. I don't know that it's that detrimental to you though. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I just think most people would prefer it not to be that way. I wanted to say hello. Miss Tiffany Thrifting Vegas is in the house. We appreciate you coming, my friend.
How you doing?
She said, Tiffany said her birthday is next week.
What?
Happy
Right
birthday.
after Dalton's. Happy birthday, Tiffany.
Wow.
Carrie wants to know, was Sonny, why are you getting joked at? Because you have too much stuff?
Yeah. She's Asian.
No.
Sorry to stereotype, but she's a little dynamite.
So Sonny, a different Sonny, wants to know, do any of you have codes? Like, I'm assuming they mean like coupons for discount. Oh, they mean affiliate codes. We like when you ask about that. Do any of us have codes for discounts on shipping supplies such as bubble wrap or mailers?
I do not, other than what eBay sends me for a discount, which I need to use for some boxes. I don't have any affiliate links other than fan merch from Merch by Amazon, but working on it. And Kat actually talked to me about that months ago. It's like, do you have an affiliate link, Sonny? And I'm like, no. And she was like, you need to get on it. So there's much more that Kat does than a lot of other
There's
resellers.
a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of pointers, and that's one thing I'll tell you folks. Like, I know we're answering questions, but there's a lot about people in the community that goes unseen and unheard of, and it's not, you don't hear about it because people don't brag about like, hey, somebody messaged me and I said this. But I'll tell you this: every time I've been able to ask anything to anybody, more particularly right now with Kat being on the panel and her live, she's always giving me information that's like, hey, what's up with your thumbnails? Because I asked her, what do I need to improve on? She said, thumbnails and your titles. What the hell's going on with your title? And what are you trying to teach? And it's like, oh, I understand that now. But sometimes you need to hear it from somebody else rather than thinking you kind of know what you're doing because you're getting views. But with these little tweaks and really pushing forward and trying to learn, it has helped a lot. With her, Danny the Niche Lady, like I mentioned, Mikey Bags of Money, Carrie American Arbitrage, who I'm going to be thrifting with this weekend. But it's just, folks, do not be afraid. What I'm getting to, do not be afraid to ask, for questions to help you grow. And that's why Kat started this. She's big on teaching.
Unless you don't want to know the truth, because Kat has no filter. I have no filter. If you ask me a question, you're going to get a straight up answer. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I think people that have been watching me for a while know that. I'm a really straight shooter, whether it makes me look like a ass or not. I just
an asterisk.
An asterisk.
Yeah, so we rarely use like bubble wrap because we sell mostly like clothing and shoes, but we do have like some cleaning supplies on Amazon with our affiliate links, that you guys can purchase if you want to. But yeah, we don't really have any discount codes, anything like that.
I'm not gonna lie, neither do I. I use Uline for most everything, and they don't care that I have a YouTube channel. I've reached out. I said, Uline, come on, give me an affiliate link.
Give me something.
Give me something. Come on. I tractor trailers come to the house, and they say no. So.
Yeah. So they should be either Richard or Marsha dropping mine. I have an affiliate code for Bubble Boy, but it's not for a discount because Joel doesn't make very much on the bubble wrap because he ships like 2 giant rolls to your house for like $40. So I know that shipping, that's oversized. So there's not much room. So I don't have a discount for bubble wrap because there's not much room on that. And I've talked to Joel one-on-one quite a bit, the owner of American Bubble Boy. So I have my code that just tells him I referred you, and I do get a little commission from that. And then I have my Amazon affiliates, but again, no discount code. It's rare because a lot of these companies, the discount they would give is like the little bump that we get as like commission for referring you. And like Sonny said, I'm completely honest about it. Like if you guys want to know anything, I will tell you. Like Amazon's like 1.5 to 2% commission. So if you buy something for $10, we get like 12 cents. So it's not anything over the top. And then like my eBay store too is the same. It's like 1%. I think though eBay is confusing. I think I've earned like $19 all month on commission from people clicking my eBay store. So it's not anything over the top. Now List Perfectly is one of the companies I like. That one I have 30% off. Yeah, they're amazing, Clara and Amanda. So that one I have a discount for, but I think that's the only, and the tax, Mark II, not your dad's CPA. I have a $50 coupon off for that. But everything else is more like letting them know that we sent you versus like a coupon. So no discounts on them. The thrifting librarian wants to know, do we earn more money if they watch our YouTube ads instead of hitting skip after 5 seconds?
You earn more if you watch YouTube ads.
Like if they watch the whole ad instead of hitting skip.
I've never really paid attention to that, and I just got monetized about a month ago, if that already. So I'm not really looking at that yet. So I would hear it from Julian and these other awesomeness people in the panel from that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. I've heard other bigger resellers say like they don't have to watch the whole ad. Just as long as they're watching the video before the ad and they're watching the video after the ad, then you get, paid off of it.
Right. Because if the answer is yes, I know we've watched our videos and I've skipped the ad. Like, I don't want to watch this. I want to go back to our videos.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works out.
Even if I do skip the ad because they are so long, they're like 30 seconds. You just hit that thing and just watch to the end. You take that 25 seconds you were going to watch that, you watch to the end, and that will be great. So if it is, I have no idea, but skip it anyway. That's what my advice is.
Yeah, I agree. Skip it. I don't watch. Well, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't see any ads because I pay $10 a month, so I never see ads. But I skip the ads. I'm gonna agree. Like if you can skip the ads, skip the ads. Do we get more? I don't know. I don't think there's any way for us to like truly know that. I do. They might pay more. I put some non-skippables in my videos, but I didn't start doing that till I had like over 5,000 subscribers. I was like, nobody's going to keep watching if I don't let them skip it. So I will admit, I do have a few that are non-skippable as I've grown bigger, but I let YouTube pick what goes where. Somebody told me there was like an alcohol commercial on one of my videos. I was like, what? This is cool. Tell me. Listen, I like hearing what ads are tell me, because I think it's cool to see like who's putting ads on my videos. So if you guys see ads, tell me. Mary Garcia wants to know the quickest way to clean a Magnolite aluminum roaster. She's humming at Julian. She said she spent way too long cleaning 2 of them today.
I recently been cleaning the oven a lot more because it's become easier, and it's with that Dawn Power Shot, I think it's called. And that works so well. I just sprayed it a few times, let it sit there, and it was as easy as just wiping it down. And it was pretty bad with the way I burn stuff, so it sticks really well. So Dawn Power Shot is what I used. Derek's like, I don't clean.
Clean.
That's my look too. That's my look too. I'm right there with you.
But we have
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think we have like a degreaser, that we can just spray and it cleans it, and then just, we can wipe it off. But Jasmine, she comes up with all these it just depends. DIY
I
type
have
of ways
a Pinterest board. I'm gonna be honest, of like cleaning hacks that I save for just about everything. So like literally, there's a hack I have for the microwave to get like the grease stains out. There's a hack for just other things. So it just depends on what it is, and I literally will find a hack, and I'm like, hey babe, I gotta go grab these ingredients. I'll get it, try it out, and I'll be like, that worked.
Yeah, under 2 minutes. It takes me like 15 minutes.
No.
I don't know.
We don't do that.
What you do? Yeah.
You just see it clean.
That's it.
You just reap the benefits. Must be nice.
Yeah, any like Magnolite aluminum roaster, that thing's a pretty thick pan. I know it's a pot roaster, the one you're talking about. So it's got some the easiest way would be any type of heavy degreaser right off the bat and let it sit there and then wipe it clean, and then any aluminum cleaner after that. To be honest with you, I don't clean them all that well because some of them have been burnt before and they're very difficult to clean. The only really way to do it is give it to my dad, who has like a professional shining shop in his garage, and he will be able to get that aluminum looking like perfect to different compounds. But other than that, I would just spray degreaser on it and aluminum cleaner, and then because those things have the ability to almost have like a mirror finish almost, but you have to really work at it. And to me, it's not worth the time because I think they're only worth about 60 to 80 bucks. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on cleaning it. I'll get the heavy stuff off through those two methods, but I won't get that thing like super shiny.
Yeah.
I don't clean much. So
they're cool looking though. When they're really shiny, they're like really cool looking.
They're pretty. I have a pile of like Revere wear I bought with like the best intentions. I bought like the Dremel scrubber, and I've got like all the stuff, and I still months later haven't done it. Pame says, I found a pottery mug that has a signature. How can I identify it? Google Lens was not helpful.
I wouldn't know. That's not my forte right now, but I'm learning.
Yeah, I would say the best option would be to ask Cat.
Sound about right.
No, do not.
I would definitely DM Cat.
I would say if I can't like identify it by Google Lens, because some makers and artists, their work is like totally different from anyone else. So Google Lens will pull up that artist, like Romero Brito, for example. There have been several artists that Google Lens is like, this is who it is. If I cannot find it, I don't spend time on trying to figure out the name. I just list it as Studio Pottery Artist Signed. I don't try and find a name, because a lot of times you're like spending all this time and that mug's worth 15 or 20 bucks. And I'm not spending an hour on something worth 15 bucks because it's not worth it. So I'm just going to put Studio Pottery Artist Signed and leave it at that. I'm not going to worry about it. And if you message me, I will send you to Jocelyn Crazy Lamp Ladies Facebook group, which is Old Thing Thrifters and Pickers. So that is another option. They are really great at being able to identify in there. But I pass the buck. I will tell you, if you message me, I will pass the buck. Just a heads up. PK Bailey, if you put a keyword in caps, does the customer have to search in caps to find it?
No, not on eBay. eBay's search engine is one of what I believe is one of the best search engines, to where even where you're totally off, it somehow reads what you're trying to put together and will bring it up. I found it to be very, very well. But yeah, if I can't find it on eBay, it's Google search, trying to narrow things down, or Google Lens.
Yeah.
Pretty basic. I'm a pretty basic guy when it comes to looking up stuff.
Yeah. Likewise, I mean, no, the caps doesn't make a difference when they're doing the general search, because there have been times I've accidentally had my caps on and did a search and it still pulled everything up just the same.
Yep, what they said.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, so Tanya wants to know if any of us heard about the rare vintage Pyrex Lucky and Love. It's at $18,000 and still has a day left. What are your thoughts on it? Supposedly there were only 12 made.
Awesome to whoever has that and selling it. I hope they're making a killer profit. And I hope I come across the 11 other ones that are out there floating around. But other than that, I don't know too much about Pyrex and pottery and glassware, but I'm learning a lot, but it's very minute compared to what other people know.
Yeah. I saw it and how it looked, and I was like, wow, that's crazy how much it's going for. But hopefully we'll find one in the thrift store one day.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah, probably won't. But yeah, I say make that money. Hey, if somebody's willing to, pay $18,000 or more, which is going to go probably, I think, around, close to 30 maybe. So if they're willing,
I'm going to look it up on WorthPoint. Hold on while Julian's talking. I'm looking this up.
Yeah.
I just think it's super awesome how close this community is, because everybody on this panel and a lot of people in the chat have seen that post, which is pretty cool that everybody's like looking at the same post. Because I actually looked this up because I was like, there's no way this thing's worth 18,000. I think I saw it was worth it was going for like 13 or 15. And it has to do with that certain color, because there's a clear one out there that's not worth that much money. It's like
Yeah,
this
right. So there are
Yep.
quite a few of that. I'm looking right now at Worth Point,
You're looking for
and
the
it looks like the last one that sold the highest was in December of 2018. It sold for $9,000. So I don't know that buyer is going to pay. That buyer might not pay, guys. That happens. And sometimes the hype on those. So I know about it because Fatbird Finds shared it on Instagram. That's where I saw it, because they shared a picture of it and said, just sitting here with my popcorn. The lady shared it. So I will tell you, I was researching plush, because I'm going to do a plush research video, and probably 9 out of 10 of the really high dollar ones were not paid for and were relisted. So I caution you guys when you see that. Like, I just looked it up. The highest on Worth Point in the last 10 years is $9,000. That might very well be something that doesn't get paid for. And that happens a lot. Like, I saw it so much with the plush. It was crazy. But like, I'm seeing, right, unless all of them have been listed on eBay ever, there are 11 of them listed on Worth Point that have sold. So,
like, how would you ship it, Kat? Would you
Hand
travel,
deliver it.
find an
if it
airplane?
was that much, and it was, if honestly, okay, so Sonny knows this. I'm flying to FlipCon. I have not flown since I was 8 years old. I'm not necessarily scared of it, but I am a little apprehensive because it's been a long time. What'd you say, Sonny?
First class.
I am flying first class.
Wow.
Nice.
But that's because they listen. So I wasn't gonna, and then they emailed me after I bought my ticket and said I could upgrade to first class for $125 round trip, and I'm like, definitely going first class. So I wasn't willing to pay the $350, but when they sent me and said, "Oh, you can upgrade for $125," I'm like, okay, that'll make it a little more comfortable for my first time in a long time flying. So if as long as I do okay on that, I have a reason for saying that. I would probably fly it. I would put it in a carry-on and I would fly it wherever the hell it was going if somebody paid 18 grand. I drove. So my thing, I have several things. Like I have a Romero Brito picture right now worth about $6 grand. I have a Capodimonte worth over 3,000. Those, if they sold and it was within 12 hours of me, I would drive them. Like hands down, no question asked, I would drive them myself. If they sell further, I would request the buyer do freight and have it hand delivered. They call it white glove service. So like it sits on the front seat, it's not like thrown in the back. But if I'm okay with flying and that thing would fit in a carry-on, which that would, then I'll fly it. I'll fly it to Vegas or Cali or wherever the heck they buy it, because you've got so much profit, you just hand deliver it yourself.
Right.
If you've got more than a couple thousand and you can drive it, I would say drive it. If I had to ship it, like if it was going to Puerto Rico, I would fly to Puerto Rico.
Vacation, right, Kat?
Right.
Yeah, double, I would probably use Instapack. Instapack foam for the expensive stuff is super protective. This question is for, first this one, and then there's one for Sonny. Martha wants to know, how many hours do you spend? I don't know. I guess we could say daily or weekly. How many hours do you spend listing, sourcing, and mailing?
For the past week, because I was in Twin Falls, Idaho, visiting my brother-in-law for his birthday, 2 nephews and niece, I didn't do anything, folks. Orders, I had about 13 orders that came in, which is pretty low compared to other vacations that I've had. But my intentions now that I'm back after today, because jet lag and driving 8 hours yesterday, tomorrow I'm going to start listing as much as I can. I don't look at hours because then I'm just looking at hours counting down. So I just base it off of, I know I want to list, and if I don't, I know what I'm not getting from it. So I'm invested in me and what I want and what I want for my wife. I really want to get to where I could have her leave her job. She's a nurse. And that
takes a lot, Sonny.
It's a lot. And yes, I know. And I was going to say right here, right? And my wife works very hard, and she's always believed in me. And I believe more in me because of her. And I know if I could get to a certain point from reselling and YouTube that she could do what she wants. And I know with the way she is, her work ethic, she's just gonna grind doing something else, but something for herself. And that's what I was telling her today during breakfast. I told her that you need to do something for you. And she's like, but it's us. And I was like, I know it comes to us, but I want you to do something for you. Like I know it comes around full circle, but I know how hard she works, and I really want her just to be comfortable as I am with what I'm doing. And I know she could do it. A little quick story. I know I'm long-winded with things. I took back in Hawaii when I started YouTube. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a niche. I started it because my brother wanted to see Hawaii, but he didn't want to go to Hawaii. He wanted to see YouTube videos. So I started making YouTube videos of going to the beach, going underwater with turtles, also known as honu, sea turtles. And that's what started me on YouTube. And my wife at the time, who still to this day, she wakes up every morning watching It's Judy's Time. She loves that show on YouTube, and she watches that and never watches my videos, which is fine. But I pushed her for 6 months to do her own video, and it took her another 3 months to finally release that video. And within a week, she went viral for like 100 something thousand views, and then she dropped the mic and canceled YouTube and said, "Oh, it's not that hard." And I'm like, "Come on, Carla."
What? She got lucky. She got
She
lucky.
could have had me not working this long all this time if she had stuck with it. But she's really good at what she does, and she hasn't been active on her channel, Hearts Carla, but I think it's gonna come around soon. And because we're working on a family, we want to have that more of a family channel rather than reselling. She's not a reseller. But yeah, long story long. Yeah, that's it.
Long story long.
Yeah, I think for us, when it comes to spending or listing, sourcing, and mailing, we do try to even up the time. I think if it was up to Derek, we would just source 24/7 all day, every day.
It's the only way, really.
Yeah. And so I think now that we're doing this full time together, we really do try to divide our time. So usually you'll see on our videos, a lot of times Derek may be in the thrift store. Usually while he's thrifting, I'm at home listing and getting the packages together. So we kind of have a system. When it comes to hours, just for me as like a working mom, you guys know we have a 3-year-old and a 12-year-old. So usually my grind times are when the kids are in school or at daycare, because that's just uninterrupted. Otherwise, when my son is home and he's 3, like Dalton,
it's hard. So it's hard.
Yeah, like he'll be like shooting packages around on the floor, thinking it's like hockey pucks and stuff, and I'm just like, son, just so
they don't stop. They don't stop.
They don't stop. Like I remember it was one time like we were doing packages and he had hid it in his tent, and I'm just like, this is not hide and seek, son, please, because I thought we lost, and I knew I packaged it. And so I think for me, I try to be very intentional during the work hours to really focus on listing and mailing. But then there of course are times where like the kids are settled in the evening, and we put them to bed, and now we're working on packages, getting it shipped out. But we really try to keep it even. And so, when it comes to him, he may bring items in, within that week, we're working on getting those things listed. And of course, mailing is an everyday thing. It just depends on how many items.
How many hours do you guys think, like on average, daily or weekly, all together?
I would say probably like 6-7 hours a day.
Yeah. Like of
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be both of y'all working. So that's double, right?
Yeah,
12 to 14 hours a day.
12 to 14, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because literally, like Derek will be at the thrift stores like as soon as they open. You know what I mean? And so, that same time he's out, I'm home getting packages and listing. And it also helped recently. We actually just started doing this morning boot camp in Atlanta here. So we go to like 5:30 a.m. workouts. Which is crazy. Listen, Kat. So my best friend, she's a police officer here in Atlanta, and she hassled me for like months to go try this workout. And I was like, girl, no, leave me alone. Stop. No. And finally I went, and it was amazing. And now me and Derek go. But I say that to say we're
are the kids up at 5:30 in the morning?
No. Kids are asleep.
So but like y'all both go?
Yes.
Yeah, so her
I guess your 12-year-old's old enough to be home with the 3-year-old, though, right?
So her sister,
I don't have. Yeah,
her sister's actually staying with us for the summer because she's interning at the CNN Center, and she's 19 years old. So she's
so she's
they're not alone, guys.
No, they're not alone. So my sister is here.
Well, even if they were, though, the 12-year-old's old enough to like.
Yeah, and she'll be 13 in a few months. But so we get an early start on our days, and I think that's helped us a lot with like listing and sourcing and stuff, because literally like you're pumped up. we're back home by 6:45.
Adrenaline rush, yeah.
Yeah, like there's a full
Yeah.
adrenaline rush, and then we crash at night. But throughout the day, I think that adrenaline rush carries. So that's why you see on the videos Derek be all turned up in the thrift store. That's why, he's turned up because the workout.
He just did boot camp.
Yeah, literally. I think he can conquer the world, which he can. And for me, it's my coffee, and we can go hours on end. So yeah.
I would say 40 to 50. 40, 50 eBay, 40, 50 YouTube.
We don't know when we sleep. Mine's
Not much.
probably the same because, like, if I'm just sitting on the couch, like, hanging out with the kids, then my 20-year-old stays in a room all the time. But I would, like, I'm doing drafts or something. So for mailing for us with me and Brad, so Brad, that's the only part of this Brad helps me with is shipping. He doesn't help with sourcing or listing. We can ship like 60 packages in less than an hour and a half, to give you guys an idea. So like me by myself, I could ship 50 to 60 in 2 hours. And that's with breakables and all the different stuff I sell. As far as listing, probably like at least 30 hours a week. I put up 60 drafts today in a few hours. But that's because there were a lot of license plates. So if it's the same state, same year, I already know the price. So then I can boom, boom, boom through those really fast. But altogether, like Julian said, probably between 30 and 40 each to YouTube and eBay. But it doesn't feel like, editing sometimes feels like work. I won't lie. Editing can feel like work. But like, and I haven't sourced in 6 weeks. So I don't have sourcing in the equation right now because I have so much stuff I'm not sourcing. So really for me right now, it's just listing and shipping. I don't have to worry about sourcing. But when I source, I do, especially a big auction buy, I'll probably spend 8 to 12 hours researching one auction. If I know I'm going to spend like a few $1,000s, I'm going to spend the time into researching the stuff in there. Deborah Larive, Sonny, when you find a clothing item with a tag of $139, what do you price or list the item?
It's never that easy with just a price tag because some things are no longer cycling through on the internet. So, for example, one of the recent ones, brand new tags, Ted Baker is a very, very good brand and usually high-end price tags on it. But for within the US, they sell for half of what you would be seeing on a price tag. The reason why it's more popular overseas, say in Europe. So for other things, I don't, just because say the Ted Baker, I had around 5 suits or blazers and everybody else is listing it for $69. That's them. I'm still going to list it up, say around $139 and just leave it or best offer. And what I've been getting is very few lowball offers and getting offers for around $120, and I just accept it. But I also have shipping costs with everything that I do in a blazer. Even large sizes, I have been able to fit inside a padded flat rate envelope. So, yeah.
Listen, it's like a puzzle piece. I'm going to answer. Sonny wanted to answer my question. I want to answer Sonny's question. So no matter what that price tag says, you need to look it up because some stuff could have a $139 tag and only be worth $10. So don't think because you find something new with a $139 tag, it's necessarily valuable. Might have ended up in the thrift store because it didn't sell at the store. It was on clearance and then that store donated at the thrift store and nobody wants it. But it could also be worth $300 if it's something new with tags that's rare or even more. So I would say, don't use the price on that new tag at all when you're comping. Look up comps, make sure you compare it to stuff new with tags. And if it's vintage with a new tag of $139, that could be big money. Again, all brand and item specific, but I don't think there's any correlation with like what the original retail price was. What matters is what like the comps are showing actually on eBay. Let me grab this and then you can grab that. Have you ever sold an item and then not been able to find it? Asking for a friend.
Yes.
Today or yesterday. Yeah. With this one, the recent one was yesterday when I got back from Twin Falls, Idaho. I've been I've noticed Anna Lee plush, mainly the cat face, Halloween theme, and mice and Christmas characters stand out to me easily. And
They're
usually
also
people,
creepy. They're creepy.
Yeah.
I'm
they
just
are
gonna say
creepy.
that.
And I have several of them that are Halloween themed, but two of them were black, and one was I say maybe a wizard or a witch, and one of them had a frog with a broom. So when I ended up pulling it this morning, it just didn't stand out to me correctly. So I looked at the profile picture, and I clearly remember that months ago I ended up selling one identical to it, and I grabbed the wrong one, but it was more valuable than this one. So the person received something more valuable. I was probably like, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna leave a good comment.
Yeah.
Right.
Fast
Right.
shipping, better than described, and I'm like, Jesus. So I canceled the order, but I apologized to the customer, saying what I just told you right now. I believe I made a mistake, and if I come across another one, or if I happen to be wrong again and actually have it, that I will contact you. And what I ended up doing for stuff that doesn't sit right, I guess is like the Libra side. Go Derek, Team Libros. I ended up going on eBay, buying one, and what I'm going to do, because I already have her address, is send her that item anyways. So that's what I did this morning, and I feel a lot better about it. But that's some of the things that I do, is just something I know I could afford to do, and that $4 it was like $25 total that I probably buying that first one and then this second one. And just to know that for me to do that helps the eBay community as resellers, that we're not what people think they are, for the ones that are thinking bad about us or trying to taint us, that we're just trying to get money. No, we're not. We're trying to make a living, and people are trying to make their own living being comfortable what we're able to give them, on these platforms, whether it's eBay or other selling sites.
Yeah, it has definitely happened to us. I know when Jasmine first came on, she placed the item in the wrong bin.
Don't call me out like that. Don't do that.
No. But honestly, I actually put the item in the wrong bin, and we were looking for it for like the whole day and couldn't find it. And it was in the bin next.
Yeah, he put it like 2 bins over. Like, we did a video about it because it was hilarious. Like, I mean, thankfully we had 2-day handling time on our store. So, we normally pull items the same day. So we literally were like, we don't find it by the last day, we'll have to cancel it. But, we ended up finding it like 2 bins over. It was a pair of boots, I think.
Echo boots.
Yeah, Echo boots or whatnot. But I mean, it has happened. I think it just kind of goes back to just having a good inventory system of keeping track of stuff. And honestly, that's something we're constantly working on, in our house. Because, of course, right now our space is limited. So we're really trying to maximize, like, bringing in all of these great items we find, but having a system. But sometimes we do kind of get backed up where you just have so much stuff, and if you don't have a good inventory catalog or system, stuff can get lost in the shuffle. So that's definitely one thing we've been working on. I think we've gotten a lot better with that. When I first came on, I don't know what type of system you had, babe. Not just kidding. It was there, but it's always we're working on, making it better so we don't have any lost items, because we hate, like, I think those pair of boots that we had, the Echo shoes, it was like $80. Like, we didn't want to cancel that item. That was a good bid, and thankfully we found it the last day and got it shipped out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Probably had a system like me. It's all up in here. I know where everything is. Just might take me a little bit longer to find. It's all up here in the noggin. Yeah. So we know.
Yeah, man.
But I'll tell you what. Sometimes I don't know, because that has happened before. And the best thing is to don't look for it for the next hour. Like, just calm down. Just sit down,
Just
do
step
something
away.
else.
Because sometimes it's like right in front of your face.
Right in front of you.
And you're so frazzled, like you don't see it.
I sold the gigantic. It was huge. It was like this spaceship grill. It was gigantic. It was literally like 2 foot high, and I could not find this to save my life. And I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. It is literally 2 foot. Like, it is in one of these rooms or in my storage unit. So I went 3 times back and forth, and I was like, this is dumb. So I sat down, and then I looked over, and it was literally like in the closet looking at me, and it was covered by a jacket. And I was like, this is ridiculous. But I've actually only lost, I think, 2 items where I could not find them. And I think I did what Sonny did. I sent the wrong item to a person, and they just never said anything about it. So but the best thing is, if that happens, take a break and breathe. And then usually it's looking at you.
So I want to say, instead of what Sonny did, Sonny said he canceled. If you are new, please do not do that. It could cost you your whole eBay account. If you aren't selling much, one cancellation could cost you your account. Please be aware of that. So what Sonny did essentially by buying that from another seller is he drop shipped it. So instead of canceling that item, I would have marked it as shipped, and then it would come to them from another seller. Be very, very wary. If you are new, one cancellation could put you on timeout from eBay and literally ruin your account. So what I do, listen, I'm going to tell y'all a funny story about this real quick. So today I sold $100 fan to an HBO show for a prop. My first prop ever I sold.
Oh, cool.
So it's going to the prop address. Dom Primetime Treasure Hunter helped me figure out what show it was. It's The Gilded Age on HBO. So today I pulled the fan and I'm like, okay, here. So Brad's shipping and he's like, and he fans out this Victorian fan. He says, this is not the fan. This has flowers. That fan has people. I pulled the wrong item. There were 2 Victorian fans in that bin. I didn't open them. I just grabbed the first fan. And he's like, you would have blamed that on me. It was me. I pulled the fan. It was me. But luckily, he noticed. And I'm like, that would be my luck. I send the wrong thing to like a HBO prop people.
Right.
And it's me. So we switched it. I've done the same thing as Sonny had 2 super similar items shipped on out. Like I've done it with shirts that were like really, I had a bunch of like vintage Daytona Beach like restaurant shirts, and I sent like one similar, and like nobody said anything. They were probably equal value, but then when I go to sell the right one, I don't have it. Right. So for me, and if you guys watched my video yesterday, and I was lucky it was a viewer's, I broke a heart ornament on my video. Yeah. I set the glass ornament down. It hit my tripod, pop, and it was to a viewer. So I messaged her. So what I did is I asked her, is there any other ornament I have? I have a lot of them. So she picked one. So I didn't cancel that. I just canceled the other listing of the one she wanted and shipped them out together. So there are a couple things you can do. If you can find it from another seller, like Sonny did, I recommend doing that. You buy it from another seller, you switch it to your buyer's address, ship it out. If you lose $5, $10, whatever, you eat it. That's your bad. You can't find the item, but don't cancel it. Mark it as shipped. And then you'll have the tracking from the other seller shipping it. Or if you can't find it from another seller, which happens a lot with one-off items, I will, like if the item costs $10, I will say, do you want anything else in my inventory up to $20 that I could ship you out in place of this? I'm sorry, I can't find it. Be honest. Be honest with people. And then if they tell me, no, it's okay, I want a refund, I cancel buyer requested, because it's not a lie. I gave them an option. I could send them something else. They said they didn't want that. Yeah. And when you cancel buyer requested, it does not affect your metrics. If you cancel, don't have item or item damage, it will ding you. I could take a few because I ship out 100 a week. So me, I could take them. But if you're shipping only 10 a week out, you're at 10% cancellation if you cancel one. So be careful. Yeah. And I've had people be like, I just had to like brand new and get like froze out of eBay because they don't realize it. All right, Julian, I was long-winded. Beach Walker 22. Oh, we got to add $10 more to Dalton's pot here. He's up to $50. It's going to be a rich little kid.
Is racking up.
I like those kayaks. I like those kayaks. Listen, he's so funny. Let me tell you, this kid, don't leave change in the vehicle. You know how you put change in the cup holder?
Yes.
He'll get in the car. He's like, money. Like, it's gone.
That's
and funny. He has like 3 piggy banks. So a while ago, I asked people because I wanted to get him one. And like 3 people sent me piggy banks for him. So he's got 3 different piggy banks. And actually where I found this shirt was where I cleaned out my old car from 3 years ago. There was a whole probably 2 pounds of change. Wow. That I must have had like in the center console. And he was so funny, like trying to grab all the change, but he doesn't know. It's so funny. And it'll be fun to watch him learn. Cause right now, you know, to a 3-year-old, a penny's the same as $1, at least to Dalton. I don't know about you guys, but like to him, money's money. Like if it's a penny, if it's $1, Like, but he's like, put it on your nightstand.
It's
He
gone.
like it goes in the piggy bank. I don't want to know how much that kid's got in his piggy bank because he does that. So I added it to this thing. I appreciate that. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
It's so fun. Does y'all's 3-year-old go to daycare?
He just started like 2 months ago.
Yep.
So I mean, he was at home with us, you know, like we said.
I'm interested to see like the different. Like he's starting pre-K. He turns 4 Saturday, so I'm interested to see because he hasn't really like, except for his cousins, he hasn't really socialized. So I'm interested to see because like around here, he's definitely a little boss, and I'm like, is he gonna get in trouble at school, or is he gonna know to like tone it back?
Yeah.
We're
Our
on the
son
fence.
loves school because I mean during COVID we had actually pulled him out of daycare before COVID, and then COVID happened, and you know he was just home with us, and you know my mom watched him like 2 or 3 days out the week, so it was a huge adjustment. But I also think that he was ready for it. Like he literally came and said, "Mommy, I'm ready to go to school. I want to go to school," because he saw his oldest
yeah. Dalton's excited about it.
Yeah.
He's excited. We got his backpack, and they have to wear uniform where he's going. So we got all his little polos. He picked which color he wants, you know. So and then we got him new shoes. He's excited. He's excited.
Yeah, he's gonna love it.
I just hope he behaves and tones down the bossiness that he has around here. That's my concern. Like, is he gonna go? I hope. Carol Thomas wants to know if you use Photo Room, what filter do you like the best?
First, I'd like to say, folks, I just broke 4,000 subscribers thanks to you all. Some of you followed over.
I need like a little balloon thing, you know, like they do for like the congrats on Facebook. We should have like a poof, like with the balloons. I need to work on that.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Nice. So thank you for that. I've been working my way up on YouTube and really just learning from everybody and applying it. But with Photo Room, I ended up getting the one where you pay annually, and honestly, I'm not using it as much as I should for certain things. But I like just the white background. I used to do the shadow, but it's a lot easier just to click the white background and just upload everything with the batch section on there. So that's what I use.
Yeah. And same for us. Usually when we do listings, we do the white background. We actually just joined List Perfectly this week. Thank you to Kat.
I love them. Listen, and I know they're sponsoring FlipCon, but I'm hoping they will be. I need to message Clara. If they will be there, that will be like, I'm already going, so I can't like go any more than I'm going. But I would love to meet Clara and Amanda in person. I know they're sponsoring it. I hope those ladies are going to be at FlipCon. I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, that's one thing we just learned is that Photo Room is included in List Perfectly, you know, as a feature or whatnot. But even in doing that, you know, with the background remover, still just.
But see, I list on my phone, so I still subscribe to Photo Room because I do my listings on my phone. I don't do them like on List Perfectly. So I still, and I like with Photo Room, you can batch the 50 and you can't do that on List Perfectly. That's why I still do them. I do them both separate.
Yeah, we have the annually, you know, Photo Room.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
Yeah, I don't use I just use the batch white background. I don't do any type of filters. I just the
my
50,
favorite
boom,
thing.
upload.
Listen, and my members are like, we've been doing this. There is a button on Photo Room for position and centered. It will perfectly zoom and center your item on all 50. That thing is amazing.
Wow.
It is amazing. It makes every single picture look, and it's one button for all 50.
What's that button look like?
Perfect. I'm going to show you.
Do tell.
I'm going to show you. Pulling it up. Because, man, when I found that, I was so impressed with that thing. Okay, so I have an old batch here. Hold on. Let it process the batch. And then I'm going to show you. It's going fast right now. Thank goodness. Okay, so look. So once you do your batch, here's my batch.
You want to go big?
Here, you see, oh, yeah, I can make me big. So on Photo Room, once you do your batch, there's this button here that says position. Whoa. So you click position, and then you click on centered. And it goes, watch this. It will pull all of these images and it centers them perfectly. Every single one of them. Pulls them, centers them. Look, they're perfectly centered. It does every single one. All at the same time. Position and centered. And you can pick how much padding. Like I have a 5% border. You could pick like 10% if you wanted a little bit more. And then look, they're all perfectly in the middle. Like perfect. So
Wow.
that
That's
button,
awesome.
yeah, because then if you're a little bit off, like it perfectly centers it. It's perfect. So I just use white background too. Leroy's coming to FlipCon too. I'm excited to meet all the people at FlipCon. I'm excited for FlipCon. FlipCon is in about a month in Charlotte. Leroy's going. Julian, have you decided? Not 100%.
Not 100%. I'm like 40% maybe. So really
that's not helpful.
Or 10.
Yeah, so Froggy Flips and Sarah, his wife, I've known them for years. They started when I did, so I'm super excited to meet them. I've known them forever. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, Leroy, here's your dolphin. I know Leroy likes the dolphin.
Super chat.
Another one, Reseller peeps. Thank you. Art of Reselling shouted us out this morning in their AM chat. We appreciate it. Here is a dolphin for you.
Super chat.
All right. What is going on? Thank you.
Keep it going.
Nice.
Thank you. Rebecca St. Laurent said, just the things you keep me going. I'm happy to hear that. I love, and I haven't been watching as much motivational stuff as I was. I need to get back in it because when I was working, I would watch it for the hour or listen to it for the hour drive to work and hour drive back. And as I just told you guys, I've not been leaving the house. Like so much, it feels weird when I drive a car. Because Brad does all the driving. So like when I go somewhere once a week, I'm like, oh, when you don't drive a while, it feels like weird. But anyway, so I will soon be driving 5 days a week, taking Dalton to school. So I'll be driving a lot. So thank you. My point in that was I want to incorporate like more motivation into my videos. I was for a little while, and a lot of people tell me I motivate them, but I want to purposefully, kind of throw some messages in there. And I think to do that, I need to listen more to other like actual motivation speakers. So thank you. I appreciate it. Here's your dolphin.
Super chat.
All right. I want to put this up here, and it's funny because when I put this up here, when it's my turn, I will tell you. So Pretty Thrifty, it says, my sales are slow. They are non-existent. Anyone else? So I want to put it up for the panel to respond to this.
The times that I've had months, like 2 to 3 months, where I didn't have any sales. And at first I was kind of bummed out about it. But what I've learned is that I could still afford to buy and list. And even when I shouldn't have been buying, I had stuff to list. So I knew what would come in profit later on was only a matter of time. Sometimes the so-called algorithm isn't working in your favor and nobody really knows how it works. So just do what you could afford to do. If it's not working out, just maybe change up your photos. I know I've done that on a few things, looked at titles, found mistakes. I've even had people message me on eBay and saying, hey, your hats are actually older than what they are, and giving me tips and pointers. And I look it up and I use it. So I don't try to neglect anything that's going to help me. But just know that what you're doing is an investment in you. And if it's not working out right away, just know in time, you're going to look back and be like, why was I worried about that? Just keep believing in you, research, learn, and apply.
Yeah, I would say our sales actually have been like crazy, this past week. Mm-hmm. And I think one reason was because we signed up for List Perfectly. So we took all of our eBay listings and put them on the catalog. Mm-hmm. And I guess that showed like, activity with eBay. you know, and it kind of triggered the algorithm, and all of a sudden we just been getting like crazy sales.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
stuff that has been sitting for a while has been selling.
I've been selling a lot of old stuff too lately.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
But I would say like similar to Sonny, like just go into your, you know, inventory and look at the items that has been sitting for a while, and either adjust the pictures, take new pictures of them, change the pricing, or, you know, just look to see, you know, if other sellers' pictures look better than yours, you know, just looking at those different type of options that you can, you know, do to get a better sale.
Yeah, anytime my sales were terrible was usually because of me or the items that I'm selling. So I'm either slacking on listing, so that's going to drive it down, or my items actually just aren't that good. So really, if you really want to think about it, if I know a lot of people, maybe they only have, you know, they're only trying to sell 50 items, just make sure that 50 items are very in high demand. Know how to do your research when you're going through your sold comps. Like, okay, there's 100 listed, 300 sold. That's a good item. There's 500 listed, 5 sold. Not so good if you only, you know, have room for 50 items. So your research is really going to be a big thing there. But if you have like monstrous amounts of stuff like Cat and I, just keep listing and just keep working, and then eventually you're like 2, 3, 4 days that will go down, you'll spike straight back up, and then you'll be right back to normal. But me personally, every time that mine has fallen for a week or more, it's because 100% I'm not putting in the work.
Yeah. And it's funny because I thought I was doing slow. I clicked on my overview. I've had $545 in sales today, which is above average. So I was like, oh,
that's not bad.
Okay. So
It's awesome.
No, I was surprised. I didn't realize that. So I've done $2,700 for the week, which is right at my average. I do like 10 to 12,000. When I get those high dollar sales, I can have like a $20,000 month. So I'm right on average, but like 3 weeks ago, I had a ton of really low days, like $100, $200. I have 6,000 items listed. So my big thing when people message me about this is like, how many items do you have listed? And like Julian said, how popular are they? Like my stuff typically is not that popular. My sell through is slower, but I have a lot of room and I sell what I like to sell. So I don't want a 1% sell through. I don't want to sell 60 items a day. I'd be like, forget this. And I'd have to hire somebody for shipping. Monday is okay. You know, 1 day a week, we do ship out that many, but typically it's like 15 to 20. And that's good for us. That's a good amount of money for us. But you have to remember, like, if you only have, like Julian said, 50 or 100 items, they need to be fast sell through items, or you might only get like 1 or 2 sales a week, and that would be normal. That would not be out of the ordinary. So my question would be like, are you listing as much as you could? Like if my sales are slow, I'm listing more. Like that makes me not want to list. It makes me be like, I need something in this shed. Somebody wants to buy now. So I got to put it up there for them to buy it. So I would say it's down and up. That does happen. I have gotten past the point of, oh my gosh, I'm not having sales. Like finally, years later, you can ask my husband. I used to be like, we have no sales. What's good? Like I would freak out. If I had 2 slow days, I was freaking out. Now I'm like, okay, it'll come back. Like Julian said, I might have really slow days and then I'll hit $1,000 sales day and it just made up for those 2 ones. So I would look at everything and do a little bit more work if you're not getting the sales you want. All right. Miss Samantha says, how do you handle health insurance and retirement as a self-employed full-time reseller?
That's a really good question. And that's something my wife brought up this morning during our breakfast. So she said, babe, you don't understand that us having, if we have, God willing, have our own kid by this time next year, or twins, or however much we're blessed with, she said that is something that scares her, is the medical insurance. But what she always forgets is that when I say something, it goes out one ear and out the other. And it goes in one ear and out the other. With me, I'm very fortunate enough to have served 10.5 years in active Army military. And with that, with wear and tear, mentally, physically, I now have 100% of medical insurance, and I pay a little bit more for like dental, like $10 a month, which is nothing compared to what civilians are paying for. and that 100% also covers my wife and our kids with that. So for that, it helps me, and for other people, if it wasn't, say, like how I am, to go through the military and get benefits, it is scary, and that's one thing that's very important, that I would be researching right now, what it is that you need for that amount, and know that you need to always have that covered in your sales. And that's one thing I started with reselling, to go full time. I said I need to make this much amount and do it for at least 6 months to know that that 1 month wasn't a fluke, for it to get my wife to sign what I call the permission slip of I'm going full time. So that's
Mhm.
it didn't take 6 months. She said if you could do it 6 months, you probably got lucky. So I did it for several years until things just weren't working out at work. So always look at what you're trying to do and know that that's your goal, on top of more of that, to not just go back to living, say, paycheck to paycheck.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yes, I know for us, we both have Roth IRAs that we put money into, for our retirement, but also and also other investments. But really, with a lot of the with the health insurance,
Mm-hmm.
like I know
Well,
yeah.
yeah, well, we have like the marketplace health insurance, like the general one. And it was a huge adjustment for us because you got to think Derek was coming from teaching in the school system. So, they usually have great benefits as teachers. That's what I had, when we had our son. And for me working in the college, like I had insurance. And so that was a big transition. But the marketplace insurance is what we currently use now. So, we do budget for that. And of course, we're accounting for 4 in our family. And it's working for us right now. Outside of that, though, there are some things we just kind of self-pay for. And thankfully, God has blessed us with our sales to where if there is something that's going on, we are able to pay out of pocket. Like when Derek ruptured his Achilles back in November, if you guys saw that video, like he randomly tore his Achilles, playing basketball, doing the most,
Yeah.
Still drifting.
and that was huge, because it's like he had to have surgery. And then there was a whole physical therapy process where he was going 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, close to $10,000.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
we were
that's
having
crazy.
to do. But that's the thing of just kind of having that savings plan. And the good thing is with our insurance is that we maxed out on the deductible for this year. So I told him, I'm like, boy, you better go to the doctor. Like every time you feel something, just go. I'm like, I don't care. You're itching, whatever, go, because
Yeah.
we've already maxed out on it because of that injury.
But if you're paying out of pocket for insurance, it is, it can be a lot of money. But I believe you can correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. But I think you can write off like the premium of your insurance on your taxes too. So it's kind of like it works both ways. But yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely worked. But I would definitely say marketplace, just kind of researching that. Because I know for us, and I don't mind sharing, we pay close to, we don't pay
It's not a
over
lot. Yeah, it's not a lot.
$300 for a family of 4 in health
Yeah,
insurance.
it's crazy. That's who's like,
yeah,
what?
we probably pay like $250 if I'm not mistaken. That's for 4 of us for the health coverage. So just to kind of give you an idea, and it's probably less, of course, if
Yeah, I was
it's
surprised.
just yourself.
Yeah, it all depends on how much you make. Like the marketplace, because we're going through this now. The marketplace is going to be how much you make and then how big your family is. If like me and Kayla, if she was going to go ahead and quit her job, it would cost about $830 for a month. And that's going through the marketplace, and that's with $100 subsidy on what we make. So if you have you make more money, then they're not going to give you a subsidy, and you can go ahead and try to do a private one that we're actually talking to, which is still $650 a month for health insurance. That's only for 2 people at the age of 35.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
really, it all depends on how much you make going through the marketplace. If you can get private insurance throughout the marketplace is what I'm actually trying to learn about right now, talking to somebody else, because the marketplace is good. But again, it all depends on how much you make and how much subsidy you get and how much
And family
when you
size.
file and how much your how much you get, because also at the end, if you go over that, always remember, if you go over,
They're going
how
to
much
charge you if you
they
make more than
charge
what
you
you
back.
pay.
That's right.
Right.
So if you go
Right.
over and say, hey, you got a $300, $500 a month subsidy, and you blow it out of the water, say on YouTube, and I know a couple people that have in the years, and you make $50,000-$60,000 on YouTube over what you said, you're going to owe every penny of that back to the government. So just be very careful when it comes to like the healthcare is difficult, but it comes down to basically, because we've been going through this for the last couple of months, you just have to make the money to pay it. Like if you really want to be self-employed, you just have to work hard enough to cover the $300, $500, $800, or whatever it is, $1,200. You just have to work hard to pay it. And that's where
Mm-hmm.
it boils down to. And then retirement, they hit it on the head. I would Roth IRA. If you don't know, just go talk to a professional. Professionals in their, like, you know, a retirement professional, they're going to know and guide you in the correct directions. Because if you don't know, everything is very confusing. Like healthcare, taxes, bookkeeping, all that's confusing because if you're not a professional, you don't know how to do it. So go get help. There's people that you can pay to help you out.
Yeah, so I'm in the marketplace too. We have a family of 4 as well because my 20-year-old is on our policy. We pay about the same, about $300, $350 for. We actually got lucky. So in Florida, it's through Blue Cross Blue Shield. I called them directly and signed up through there, and then they ran it through the marketplace. And we have a no deductible plan, so we have no deductibles.
Oh, wow. It's really good.
And it's only $350 a month. Like, the rep was amazing. We went through like 10 or 12 different plans. I told her, because none of us have any issues. So it's mostly like, you know, just checkups, stuff like that, Dalton shots. And we haven't had any issues. I quit my job back in February, and I'm actually paying less than I was at work. I was paying like $500 a month from work, where I'm only paying $350 for, and it's everything but vision, but like your vision exam's like $150 a year. So, you know, I'll just pay that out of pocket. I have not started doing a retirement since I got out of nursing. That's because I follow a lot of Dave Ramsey. I still have $80,000 in student loans. So before investing in retirement, I'm trying to pay more of my debt down. I've been paying like $1,600 a month towards my car, like quadruple payments to try and pay it off within a year. And then I have been talking to the accountant about starting putting into a Roth IRA. And as far as the cost of insurance, my accountant said I pay my health insurance out of my business account because we're self-employed. He said I can pay the premium straight out of the business account and that it's a business expense because we file as S Corp. So I am an employee of the business and it's a benefit to me as an employee of my business. So we pay all of our health care, just the premiums. Like if I have to pay, you know, out of pocket stuff, I'm paying that out of personal account. So we're going to probably next year, I'm hitting the debt really hard. And then we're going to max out Roth IRAs for our age. I've been talking to the accountant, but I want to get the car paid off where that way the only debt I have is student loans in my house. And I've been working really hard towards that for the last few years to get that down. Betty says, when you delete an item off eBay, are you charged a final value fee for that? I'll just answer that question. The answer is no. If you didn't sell it, you don't pay a final value fee on it. There's no fee for that. Deborah, I don't know. I didn't see this in time. I didn't see it in time. She needed to know in the next 51 minutes. Can you talk about how to be the person in an auction who swoops in the last minute to win? Deborah, sorry, you wait until the last minute. If it is a soft close, I bid right at 3 minutes, right before it'll extend. Hope the person doesn't see it, doesn't pay attention. If it is not soft close, I bid at 5 seconds left. But now it's too late. So I hope you figured it out and won some stuff. Hope you figured it out. Chris. Hi. Chris is going to FlipCon as well. Richard is too. Otnip Drop Flips. So Chris says, I just got a huge lot of posters that are high value, but they are tightly scrolled. What is the best way to photograph these and not damage the poster? Thanks all. # my coach cat. Chris was one of my personal coaching students. So let me give her a dolphin and then we can all say what we would do with these posters.
Super chat.
All right, Sonny.
I don't have any info on this other than knowing Kat a while back bought some posters that they didn't know what they had, but Kat did, and so.
Are talking about my Smokey the Bear? Listen,
Yeah, exactly.
Sonny's referencing all these videos I made like almost 3 years. He's referencing like old Kat videos.
But that's how they work. That's how when things just stick in your head and it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna look at posters, and you're like, wait, Kat got this one poster, well, many posters, and these might be worth money.
Hundreds of dollars, and they were in a trash can. They were in a trash can in an auction.
Yeah, wow. I wouldn't know how to. I know they're glossy at times. Kat and everybody else might have an answer because I don't have one for you.
Yeah, I know we don't really
Yeah,
sell
we've never
posters,
had that.
but if we did have a poster that was like, rolled up, I'll probably just unroll it and then put like something that's heavy but very small on the tips of it or something, and then take a picture of it just to keep it, that won't
Intact.
mess it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only thing is sometimes that paper gets super thin, especially on like old vintage ones. So just be super careful with that. Because I bought a whole bunch at an auction one time, and it was like if you were to move it just a little bit, and it would rip a little bit. So just be super careful and take your time doing it. And then what Derek just said is small, heavy items on the edges, and just take a picture from like a little ladder, and you just
Yeah.
use the background delete. It'll work out.
I know.
All right, I just dropped a link. It is to a video by Primetime Treasure Hunter by Dom. So Dom has a video specifically on how to photograph posters.
There you go.
I would say watch that. I will tell you, I also I bought a lot of them and I ended up selling them wholesale on my big cartel because I didn't want to deal with them. Now the Smokey the Bear ones that were worth $250, $300, those I did, but I had a bunch worth 20 to 30 and I was like, we're not unrolling and holding these things down. And I sold them all wholesale. So watch that video by Dom. He put out a great video specifically on how to photograph rolled posters. It's an older video, but I watched it and he goes over it. So I think that'll help you. Posters are rough. I'm not going to lie. Like holding those dang things flat to get them photographed. Like I had a big piece of glass I would get and I would roll them and then lay the glass on them. Dom shows a bunch of different ways that you can actually do that. So I would watch that, but just beware. It can be difficult.
If you unroll it and it's basically the ends are intact, not bent up, do you think it would be good to just get a stock photo if you can? So you won't even have to go through that?
If you could find it, the ones I sold were actually a lot of Ann Getty's posters, and I probably could have done that because they were famous Ann Getty's posters from the 80s, the ones that I sold wholesale. I was like, I'm not dealing with any more posters. But those Smokey the Bear ones were from the 1950s, and they were worth hundreds. So those, I don't even remember how I did it, to be honest, but you had to hold down the four corners, get it flat, be super careful. But I think if you could find the actual print, you're saying, I think that would probably be safer than trying to unroll it, possibly ripping a poster, wrinkling it up. I think it would be probably be easier to do that. Hold on. I'm scrolling. It jumped me again. I know there have been a lot of questions tonight.
There has been.
Mary, why are you yelling at people in the chat? Mary and Junk Monkey, I see y'all. Does anybody know? Nat wants to know how to clean an old cardboard game board stained lid cover. She said she heard about lighter fluid and furniture polish. Do any of us know anything other than that?
No. Sorry.
I don't even know about those. Furniture polish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about those
I
either.
wouldn't do that.
Cardboard game.
Stained lid cover.
I could be wrong. Lighter fluid? I think that's stain stuff, don't it?
I don't know.
I wouldn't use that either.
I know I've seen it where on the rubber on shoes, when it turns, sometimes it can turn white. If you have black rubber, you can actually go to the advanced auto parts and get what is it? It's some type, the stuff that you use to whiten your headlights. You can get that and you can put it on the black part and it actually takes it away.
And that will work on the game board.
And sometimes I know I've used the what is it? The oil, the gas oil. That you put in your engine. You can use that. Just damp it on a tissue paper and put it on it. But
try that on something cheap first.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Or I would
Don't
sell it
put it on if it's a $500 game box, I would leave it alone. I wouldn't try and fix it.
Yeah.
Leave it. I would leave it alone anyways. If you know me, I don't mess with stuff. I'm assuming this is, well, for me and Julian. I've been introduced to some great reselling channels watching these panels. Is there a reseller you've not had on yet that you'd like to have on the panel?
Not on yet. We have had a lot. There's a couple new
We've
people
had
that
a
have been.
ton. We've been
Yeah.
doing this for almost 3 years. Julian's been on with me about 1.5 years. I've been doing them almost 3 years now.
And we've had a large amount of people on, and maybe new people are coming up we just don't know yet, or maybe we haven't seen a video pop up in our our homepage yet. But I'm sure there are some decent ones still out there that we don't know about. I mean, there's a lot of reselling channels.
I will tell you guys, we do have some new ones coming on. We do have some, and I think actually it might have been in Derek and Jasmine's premiere or somebody recommended somebody in one of these two's premieres, I think. And I have them coming on, and then I have somebody else new coming on that I'm not overly familiar with. For me, typically, if I'm interested in having them on, I'm going to ask them. So I have asked a lot of people, but there are a lot of channels that we don't know about. I don't have time to watch a lot of reselling content. I'm super busy. I've got a ton going on. So if you guys want somebody on that's new that we might not know them. We know you. You're here. You've been here multiple times. So you can tell me. So we have in a couple weeks some people that haven't been on in over 1 year. So that'll be fun too. I tried to look back because I have the show guest almost. Let me get it in focus. Almost since I started the channel. I have a file.
Wow. That's cool.
Like one of my first guests was Froggy Flips, guys. Before he blew up and got 300,000 subscribers, Anthony was on my show. He was one of my first guests on the channel. So I scroll back and look at that and I'm like, who hasn't been on in a while and who do I need to ask? But if you have new channels, definitely reach out. What, Sonny? What are you pointing?
Every time I come on, it'll be a new panel.
You're going to be a different, do you have multiple personalities?
I'll cut my hair.
No, I like your hair. I like your hair.
Say no. Say no. Your
I'll
birthday's
come
in
on
October.
next time with a haircut.
He said it'll look different. I'm going to assume this is for me since I said I don't measure. What if clothing is pre-owned and has been washed? It could have been shrunken. So wouldn't you measure then? No. No. I don't like to measure. That's like the bottom line.
Measure at first when I didn't measure. I think one of the things why I started measuring is that on most men jeans, especially like the larger sizes, they're a lot shorter in the legs, so they get re-hemmed. And I didn't realize until then.
I do look for that, Sonny.
Yeah,
I will say if I notice that the hem is not factory, so it's not going to match up, then I will measure. So I'm not totally negligent, guys. I promise. Like if I notice stuff like that,
Like
I
if
will
it's a
measure.
large shirt and it's this big, you're like, this is not a large.
Yes, exactly. And like the vintage brands run a lot smaller, so I'll put like this is vintage. It runs smaller, stuff like that. So yeah. Sonny, did you see this? I don't know if you answered this in the chat. How do you measure the leg opening?
That's why I stepped away earlier. For those who don't know, this is what I look
Here,
for.
we'll let Sonny have the stage.
Yeah. Oh, hey, folks. Hi, I'm Sonny Las Vegas. Thank you for helping me reach 5,000 subscribers by October 11th, my birthday. But this is what I look for, the measurements of the waist. I just lay it down flat. I don't stretch it out unless it has an elastic, and then I'll add an extra in the description, as is a 28 waist with the stretch, maybe plus 2 inches. But I always put approximate measurements, not exact measurements. And then the rise, what you want to look at is going to be right at the crotch, right here at the bottom, the sewing up until the top. That's going to give you the rise. It's just straight up. Now the leg inseam, like Derek talked about earlier, leg inseam, that's going to be, let me try to get this, right at the crotch to the bottom of the leg opening. That's going to be your measurement. And then your leg opening is just right here, just flat with the legs where it opens. And that's pretty much what I put. And it only takes a few seconds, a lot shorter than what I just said it. It's a lot easy, or it's very easy. And a lot of people say, I don't like doing measurements. It only takes a second. And just think about what you could do to prevent from people saying it doesn't fit what's in the description, especially if you're putting in your description or in your listings that you do not do returns. That's not 100%, as most of us know. If it's not as described,
Ooh,
then
I
it's
don't
probably
want
not
me.
described
What am I
period.
doing?
So,
That's why I shut my camera off. You see, the one time I don't shut it off, I do stuff like that. And
That's
I want
basically
to point out though, like Sonny saying that, like you got to find what works for you. And it might take you getting returns to make you measure clothes. I haven't got enough returns to make me want to measure clothes. And I am like boom, 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 boom. So like that 3 seconds is just 3 seconds too much for me. But you got to find what works for you. That's why I like having these panel shows on, because like all of us run our businesses different, and you really got to find out what works for you. Like your business model, you can try it like Sonny, do measurements. You can see if you get annoyed like me, try it like me. And then if you get a bunch of returns, switch back to Sonny's way. You know, you got to find what works for you. I wanted to throw up my good friend Tay as well.
Yeah.
Tay and Katie Reeds. I bought my ticket 2 weeks ago. I'm going to the Prison to Profit convention coming up in October. So Tay just put out a video on his Prison to Profit YouTube channel about the convention. He gave away like thousands of dollars last year. He's like hiding valuable stuff in the bins. We get to go dig through the bins. So check that out. I will be there for sure. And Katie Reeds is going to be, I'm excited to meet Katie because Katie and I talk a lot. So I'm excited to meet Katie in person. So if you don't know about that yet, definitely go check out Prison to Profit. His second annual convention. I did not make it to the first. Second annual will be in October this year. So check that out. Richard has a question for Julian. Where are the Jurassic Park pins?
Richard.
Did you buy pins from Richard?
I did. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I buy some stuff from people. And I'm actually going to send them a picture where they are. I have a whole Jurassic Park bathroom. Like, legitly, it's 100% Jurassic Park bathroom. So they are actually, there's some over my left shoulder there. But also it's good. It's good looking, Richard. The pins were perfect. So thank you.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Beach Walker 22, another super chat. Thank you so much. $10.
Yeah.
How do bots work on eBay? I've had a video game bid up to over $1,000. I canceled the listing. eBay took $130 thinking I sold it. I threatened to quit and they gave the money back. I'll tell you just real quick and then the rest we can go around. If people bid your stuff up, they shouldn't take that fee until they pay. And then if you cancel the order, if they did assess that fee, it should be given right back to you. So just beware, or it might come up. You might get assess the fee when it sells, but then when they don't pay and you cancel it, you're given the fee back. So does anybody know how the bots work on eBay?
No. This is the first time hearing about bots on eBay.
Sorry, we can't help. I don't know either. I do know, like, I think people probably, there's got to be some kind of system, because certain things like when I had my rare like antique Chinese roundels, I had like 8 offers within 5 minutes. So like it, like maybe they have something consistently searching. So like soon as it goes up, they notify or they send those offers. I don't know, but like I think I feel like it had to be a bot that did. Yeah, I had a bot and he couldn't bid on the game. Maybe he was the bot. Maybe he was. That's crazy. See, it shouldn't have taken that long. That should have been automatic. I hate to hear that even happened. Yes, Mary. I'm not like, I wouldn't even, I did for a little while with my older son that's 22. Yes, we're online virtual. So just like make sure he got on the computer at the right time because all of his classes were virtual. It wasn't me homeschooling him. That's what I don't think I would have. And it was rough just to get him on the computer for the darn classes at the time when he was. I couldn't imagine like trying to teach him. I just like, if I had to, I think I could figure it out. You know, if I saw Dalton was struggling at school, not doing well, I would figure it out. But unless that happens, I'm not too interested in figuring it out. just because I can just imagine how rough it is. I'm scrolling. Hi, Taffy. I see Miss Taffy in the house.
Hey, girl.
Creative Vintage. What do you put in the MPN, and why am I able to promote some items and not others?
Sometimes I've noticed some items I can't promote because they recently just finished off another, say, promotion thing that I had, that it's too close, that it's kind of throwing it off. So I give it about a full 24 hours to do those promotions. Usually not a problem. With the MPN, I don't put anything on that. I just swipe over to the right on my phone to block that option off.
Not applicable. NA. That's what I was trying to say.
Yep. Same with Sonny.
Same for us.
Yep. Yeah, same for us. Just like Sonny said.
Yep, that answer is my same answer.
Yeah, and MPN is manufacturer's part number. So a lot of stuff that's not really applicable on, but like if you do like auto parts, I bought like a bunch of like alternators and stuff, like it was like new old stock. Those did have like, they had MPN on the box. So, but if they don't have MPN on the box, then I just put the NA. I'm going to answer this one and then I will find one more. We are right at the 2-hour mark. We have over 500 people in the chat still. So thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
PK Demas, if you sign up for GSP, can you choose what listings to use, or is it all or nothing? You can choose. I'll answer that one real quick. You get to pick whichever ones you want to put on it and which ones you don't. So you turn it off or on. I turn GSP on some and standard international on lower cost items, because a lot of lower cost will sell to Canada under standard international, but they wouldn't be willing to pay the global shipping cost. Hold on, one more question. And I did not even make it to 9 o'clock, guys. Get your questions in early. So like only an hour of the questions. So it really depends on how many questions we get. Sometimes we almost get them all. And then other nights like tonight, I made it through 45 minutes of questions. So definitely get the questions in early. That's why you see Duncan coming at 7 p.m. puts his questions in early. So we make sure they get answered. That way, you know, they will get answered. Kat does tell the truth. Kat does tell the truth. I am bluntly honest. Don't ask my opinion if you don't want it, because I will give it to you. I'll let you guys answer this while I'm searching for our last question. What does ATL stand for?
Atlanta.
All day, baby.
Okay, here's the last question from Kelly Willis. Should you start out with an eBay store and list a few things, or do you have to have a certain amount of things to list before you have a store?
The only reason I started a store was because I was going on vacation when I started back again in like 2017. That was the only reason I ended up getting a store. And when I did get the store, I realized like I knew I was going to do this nonstop. So I should have did it before. For the times that I was trying to manage me leaving and coming back, knowing that I didn't have a store, to not put it on vacation mode. But now it's time away and a lot better actually with the new little tweaks that they've done.
That's good. Yeah. So honestly, I would just, I'm trying to remember, when did I start?
The official store. Yeah.
But I would say like just list what you have at first, and then when you're making enough profit to pay for your store, that you can pay every month, and then get a store.
I agree with that too. I would do the same thing. I would list until you either hit that point where you're paying too much, for more new items coming in for the insertion fee, then it makes sense to get the store so you save money, or you just know that you're going to go ahead and just do as much as you can, and you're going to hit that, then you might as well just go ahead and get one. But if you just you're getting stuff around the house and you're putting it on eBay, there's no need for a store. I wouldn't get one right away.
Yeah, I agree. I normally tell people like once you're over 250, because typically eBay will give everybody 250 free listings, or like Sonny said, if you need to go on vacation, set vacation mode. Other than that, if you're under 250 and you're part-time and you're getting 250 free listings, then there's no point in getting a store, because you don't benefit from it. So yeah. Look at Cali Reseller, Mr. Lewis, $4.99 super chat. great live. I will give him a dolphin, and then I'm going to let Sonny and Derek tell you guys goodbye and let you guys know what they have coming up and when they're doing their videos and shows. And then we will tell you goodbye. Here is your dolphin. Thank you, Louis.
Super chat.
All right. Yes, Bubble Boy is quick. I had to click on something to take that off, but Bubble Boy is really quick. I have on American Bubble Boy, they have auto ship function, and I wasn't selling as many breakables, and I had like 8 rolls of bubble wrap. So I had to go like put my auto ship to like every 2 months. So it would like stop coming. And then when I notice I'm short, because we used to need 4 rolls like every week or 2. We used to go through it, but lately we've been selling like the license plates and stuff we don't need, and the Harley pins, we don't need the bubble wrap. So I'm like, there's no more room in the loft for bubble wrap, but they're really, really fast. All right. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to let them go big again in case you weren't here at the beginning. Listen to what these guys are about. Definitely check them out if you're not subscribed, and they can tell you, like, I know Sonny does his lives and when they do videos and stuff. So here's Sonny.
You were talking about List Perfectly, and I'm bringing this up. So just recently they ended up having a giveaway, and I've been grinding 10 hours just to make one video with my
This is awesome.
My very old, very used to its full potential with graphic designs. I have a degree in digital media, and Crystal Rosie's Closet, who, if she's still in the chat on Instagram, said or tagged me saying, hey, they're doing a giveaway. So I followed List Perfectly. I did what they asked of. I shared them in a story, and I ended up winning, I believe, a computer from List Perfectly and a month free of using their platform. So I'm waiting for that to come in the mail because I was in Twin Falls, Idaho. So with that 10 hours, folks, and I swear you not, I'm not making this up. I was taking about 10 and a half hours just to make one video because my computer is so slow. And I believe I could do around 4 or 5 videos with that amount of time frame. So time costs money is one of the big things I know was coming up in this panel today, was time and how it's valuable to everybody and what it is that we do and trying to do as resellers. And also entrepreneurs. Some people only do it temporarily, but I'm super excited that I won that. Things are working out. I just hit over 4K with all of your help in here. I hope to get 5K by October. And as much as I'm growing is just a badge of what it is that people are taking from me to learn and apply towards yourself that I've been doing. And from Kat, getting to know her, Julian, learning from Julian, and everybody else in the chat. There's a handful of people. I could go on and on, but I appreciate you all a lot. I do videos. I'm going to make more of them. I do a live on Thursday and usually have one on Sunday, but now with the new computer coming in, hopefully next week, I will have maybe 4 types of videos to include the live every week. And I just want to pay it forward with my content and hope you could learn from me as much as you're learning from others.
Perfect. Here is Jasmine and Derek.
Awesome. So on the YouTube side of things, we usually come out with a video, with 1 or 2 videos a week. And we're really trying to push that because it's really, challenging, to do 2 videos, a week. But yeah, like we're just, really thankful for you guys, coming and supporting us, on this live. And as far as the eBay side of things, we just want to, right now we have about 1,100 listings on our eBay store.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to reach right now, 1,200. I mean, not 1,200, but 2,000, on our eBay store.
Yeah. And also check us out on Whatnot. We do live auctions from our store periodically during the week. So you may catch us on a live where we're giving away, shoes, and we're not giving away. We do some giveaways, but you're going to have to pay for the other ones, But we have a really good time on the Whatnot because that really gives us a chance to interact in a live setting. Even our daughter, the 12-year-old we mentioned, she also sells some of her shoes with us on Whatnot because she saw the profit of you know, mom and dad are on here making money, and she came and made about 40-50 bucks on the first time when she was doing it with us. So it's really cool. You know, we're just exploring different avenues. But thank you guys for subscribing. I do see that, you know, our numbers went up a little bit on our channel. So make sure you check us out. We actually just dropped a video where we went to Denver. And we went to the flea market and the Goodwill bins. So that was super fun, you know, traveling 1,200 miles just to go see the bins. So
the majority of our videos, we premiere it just so we can have, you know, the
live interaction with our followers.
With you guys. So thanks, Kat. Thanks, Julian.
Yes, and thank you, Kat, for that discount for List Perfectly. So I'm actually working on cross-listing to Mercari and Poshmark. That's like my next project over the next few days.
That's perfect. Yeah, and Mercari's going okay since I got back on Mercari. Poshmark has been surprising me. I think we had like $400 or $500 last week in Poshmark sales. So it's been pretty no clothes, guys. I sold a straw hat on Poshmark today for $30, but mostly like non-clothing items. Yeah, definitely. And I would tell you guys, if you didn't already, since you signed up for List Perfectly, you're going to be using it, get your own affiliate code. Since you'll be recommending it out to people. I'll talk to you guys after we're not live, but get your own affiliate code for that. And I forgot Sonny won the laptop from List Perfect. Awesome. I wanted the laptop. I was going to give it to one of my listers, but I'm happy Sonny got it because he can definitely use it.
Yes.
So List Perfectly is really community oriented. We've had those ladies on with us a couple of times. They're great. So Sonny, Jasmine, Derek, thank you for coming on. Julian,
thank you
for being here. I appreciate
Thanks for not firing me. Everybody in the chat's very worried. They said it's not over yet. You might still fire me today. I don't know. It's always touch and go. Thanks for
Julian's
the guest.
been here. We're probably coming up on like almost it's probably coming up close to 2 years. It's at least a year and a half. Julian's been on with me, except when he goes fishing and runs off. I have only missed one Tuesday in almost 3 years. One Tuesday. We just had our 100th show. Our 100th show was a few weeks ago. So unless I'm like dying, I will be here on Tuesdays. Even it's fun because when I travel, I still go live. Like I went live from one of my camps in Tennessee. I went live in Myrtle Beach when I was visiting Julian. I think I went live in Pennsylvania too. And everybody thought me and Dale were drunk because we were laughing so hard because we couldn't get in the Airbnb and we had nothing to drink, but we couldn't get in it was like punch drunk. So I went live like all over the US. So I appreciate everybody being here. Definitely check out their channels. I always forget to look. One week I will surprise myself. And now I'm all the way scrolled up because I was showing you guys my little history on my phone. Next week, this will be a fun one. We have Scott, Cha-Ching King, and Ginger Marvin, Kathy and Chris. So they have not been on in a while, so I'm excited to have them back on. We appreciate you guys watching. Tomorrow will be another high dollar what sold. All of my sales for the last month over $50, up to $1,200. My highest one this time was $1,200 sale. That'll be tomorrow, and then Friday will be tumblers, high dollar, like glass tumblers, Starbucks tumblers, like almost all over $100 sales. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up, if you're newer, I'm doing a live masterclass on shipping on Sunday at 2. My ding dong self scheduled it for the same time as Dalton's birthday because that's my brain. So I had to reschedule it for Sunday instead of Saturday. So Sunday at 2, I'm doing a live masterclass on shipping. Richard and or Marsha should have dropped the link to that. So definitely check that out. I love the master classes. So we will see you guys next week with Scott, Kathy, and Chris. And we appreciate you guys coming. Bye for now.